Okay, here we are. My goodness, May the 7th, 2026. We are talking about team coaching and the opportunity for all of us to go from one-on-one coaching, keep that sacred relationship, of course, in those relationships with our VIP premium clients, but move to a model where we can impact more people. And so I am so excited about this topic. You can tell I have a lot of energy around it because I love, love, love team coaching. I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. Sisters, we're growing. It's so exciting. Bringing more really, really smart women, coaches, consultants, trusted advisors, leadership experts, team experts, attorneys, service providers. Oh my goodness, into our council. And our fundamental mission is to expand coaches' opportunities and consultants' opportunities. We are not about competition. We don't compete because guess what? We not only want to bake a bigger pie with opportunities, we want to go out and bake more pies, right? Because we're all bakers, right? That's what we love to do. So that is our mission and vision. And Sheila Anderson unfortunately couldn't be here today, one of our esteemed faculty. We're going to do a little shout out. Her birthday is this week. We want to share and have happy birthdays. I think she's 35 and holding. Anybody know? Is she 36 and holding? She'll come back and we will not sing happy birthday because as Trisha Ben says, we don't want to do that, but we'll just maybe raise a mug of goodness in her honor. So happy birthday to Sheila. And of course, Kate, you are our newest esteemed faculty partner. We are so excited about your very, very awesome interactive gathering next Thursday. Do you want to pause our slides for a moment? Jump in, tell us, because you've got exciting things happening. You have a new book that's launching. Tell us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
1 week from today is my book launch. My book is Authentic Success, and it's a guide for ambitious women to build aligned careers and lives. And it just so happens to be the same day that I'm leading the roundtable here for the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. So I'm really excited about that. I'll be talking about how do you build authentic success and build a meaningful life and career without burning out or selling out. So I know this is a topic that's close to my heart and many of my clients. So I'm excited to share that with y'all. And thank you for the support. It's my
Delighted,
first book,
delighted.
so it's very exciting.
Yay, great, good, good, good. So, Kate, we're going to be doing a lot of amplification of your book, of your content. And ladies, as you know, this year we are committed in our council. We're going out to not only we're talking to coaches and consultants as our colleagues, right? To bake more pies, but we're going out in our council to go out and going to organizations that have our ideal clients. So corporate executives, women in transition, women entrepreneurs. So we're going out there to the world to promote you as esteemed faculty. So this is an opportunity for you to get more speaking opportunities, to be able to say, hey, we've got roundtables coming up. So you can say, I'm one of the esteemed faculty. Come in and listen to my talk in my breakout room. And that's what our focus is this year through new ebooks that we're co-publishing together. My gift, our gift from us to you, ebooks and end user client prospect marketing. So I'm very excited about that. So very, very good, Kate. So I think, Kate, we're going to be doing some collabs with everybody here. We can do a little roadshow on Zoom, go out to organizations that are looking for great speakers and
I
great
love it.
trusted advisor. So we'll do it. Okay, good.
Thanks.
Very good. Congratulations to you. Good. And of course, feel free, put it in the chat, anything we can do. If there's a window of time that we can purchase your book, help you get to the top reviews. I know Suzanne, we've been focusing in on that for you with one in many of your books. Here we go. Here we
May
go.
14th, a week from today, is going to be the big day for me. So
Okay,
I will share it on LinkedIn for anyone who can make
beautiful.
it to the roundtable. We'll do our big push on May 14th.
Excellent.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
You're welcome. Yes. And for all of us, with C-Suite Network, we are promoting you and us before, during, and after. So I'm just so thrilled that we get more legs on opportunities to go out and say, hey, have you seen the replay? And be able to take snippets and all kinds of great content. So Hey, we're having fun here, aren't we? I'm so excited. We're having fun. Okay, continuing on. So let's get to more about our teams. Thank you, Kate. So excited about next week. And by the way, if you have not heard, if you've not received an email about this, we are doing a 1 day summit in Chicago the day before C Suite Network's Thought Council, Thought Summit. C Suite Network's Summit. How many of you are going? I'm certainly going. Yep, yep, great. Is Saturday and Sunday, the 13th and 14th of June. Well, we're the day before. And so we're talking about how important it is as the category of one, how to build communities, how to deepen your connection with your ideal clients, and expand and grow the whole currency in your business. And so you're going to leave with the plan on how to go from, you know, maybe a small group, maybe a small mastermind and council to even in larger group and be able to take these things that you're doing and weave them into a corporate offer. That's what I've done. And it's so, so very rewarding. Okay. So that's the whole day. And you'll get more information about that. Okay. And then finally, big shout out to Deb Creer. She could not be here today. She is doing a really, really important research project on the impact of a medical diagnosis, whether it's cancer or it's another kind of diagnosis, on a leader's ability to continue to lead. Whether a leader is building their own business, whether they're a leader in an organization, this is important research that Deb is doing. So feel free. We've been reposting from our council. If you know someone who has been impacted by cancer, been impacted by any medical diagnosis, feel free. Just forward it on. We'd love a repost. Deb is it's she's getting more and more respondents to her research, and she'll be revealing that in the end of June, beginning of July. So yeah, okay. Thank you for the commercials. Okay. Hey, I know teams, sisters. I know teams. I That has been the biggest difference in my business. I've been a coach since 1998. Wow, a long time. And I still do, like I'm sure you do, is we still work with VIP premium clients. But the shift happened for me. It was a quick shift, I have to say, that I decided to go back and serve the clients that I had served when I was in corporate. I was in corporate America. I was with three tech companies. All three went public. So I was considered a key employee, one of the first employees of these startup companies. And then I went back in when I left corporate, wanted to do my own thing. I realized, hey, these are clients that I know, like, and trust, and the same with me. Let me go back and make offers to them to help them with the teams that I used to sell to. They were very, very, very positive about that. And so that launched my team coaching business. And I got to tell you, there's nothing so glorious, and you know this, ladies, doing work that you love that makes a difference while at the same time being compensated really, really, really well. And having that continuous revenue was just fabulous, and it still is. So just wanted to get level set, and I'd love to have one of you read this so we can get your voices in here, and I want to get your experience of team coaching. And then I want to share some new research that I have been investigating, what's happening now in corporate and organizations around teams. Like, what's the catalyst for team coaching? So jump in if you'd like to do a little reading of our definition. Carol, we know we always can count on you. Not to put you on the spot, but you're such an orator as an NSA member and speaker. Jump in, and you
There.
are on
All
mute,
right.
dear.
So sorry.
That's okay.
A team is an interdependent group of people working together toward a shared purpose while creating value for stakeholders beyond themselves.
Thank you. Thank you. And we don't like get so academic on our calls, but it's interesting because teams are really special. I have a slide here that I want to share with you. Teams are different than groups. And maybe I'll go over to that very quickly and then come back about your experience on teams. I used to commingle the two, team coaching and group coaching, but they're very, very different. Teams, as you all know, teams in organizations, whether it's teams within companies, teams within different departments, different divisions, different companies, teams in sports. Suzanne, we know that you've played team sports, in basketball in your experience. Yeah. So with groups, as you know, groups is people are learning. We're individuals. This is kind of group coaching, so to speak, group learning, peer support, personal transformation, individuals that are learning together. But with teams, it's different. Yeah, people are learning together, but there's shared performance outcomes. People are responsible for the shared goals, shared vision and mission. There's more collective outcomes versus individuals. Like you can be a team leader, of course, but notice that the word team and leader are together, right? So it's more of a collective experience. And when you're in teams together, it has a bigger organizational impact. And of course, the thing that's really, really hot right now is how do you, as a trusted advisor, as a strategist, as a impact maker, coach, consultant, how do you then have teams work better together? That's the hot, hot, hot thing now. Okay. So just going back, what has been your experience with teams? Not necessarily team coaching, but with teams itself. I personally, I loved being on teams, and it was the best of times and the worst of times. Yeah. And how about you?
I
For
can share.
me,
And I
it's
wish at the
it's
time we had a team coach. Yeah. Please jump in. Yeah. Thanks.
it's been a while since I've worked on a team. I currently don't coach teams, but I was on a team in corporate and I did mentor teams in corporate. And I loved it because there was buy-in from everyone working towards a shared goal. And I loved creating that buy-in and creating support towards those collective outcomes. It's more fun when you're working towards a goal together. And I love teams for that reason. So I would love to coach teams now.
Yeah. Fantastic. Very, very good. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kate. Susan, how about you? You've been involved with many teams.
Yes, both leading teams as a manager, but right now I am in a development program called Team Management and Leadership Program that is training ourselves in actually creating team and teamwork in any situation. And it's really hard because
Exactly.
everyone is just trusting themselves, and instead of creating team and teamwork, it is like, why are they not doing that? I need to do that. I work so hard and they are not doing it, for example. So even if we are training ourselves really in both leadership management and creating team, there are a lot of breakdowns in that area. So it's really interesting that we are so much lone wolves, even if we say we really want to play on a team. But yeah.
Right. Such great observations. And I just wondered from a cultural perspective, what are you seeing in Sweden and in Europe around teams that may be a bit different than what you're experiencing with the work you do more internationally?
Um, I would
Any
say that
differences? Yeah.
uh, at least in Sweden, it is a lot of focus on having consensus in a team, and maybe too much, I would say. Uh, so there's like a balance there around who's actually making the decisions, and in a leadership team, for example, that even if we listen to everyone's input, we can't make a decision together always. There is at the end of the day, it is the CEO who makes the decision, but he or she have their team to support him or her, and also from the perspective that you are a team and you honor the decisions you made. And when you go out of that room, you still honor those decisions you made, even if you don't like them. And because we are often many different teams in the leadership team, and then we have our own team that we are leading, and yeah, there are so
Complex.
yeah, when you lift you lift on that rug and you see all those small things that are underneath there, and you start to like dig a bit. Yeah, there are
Yes.
is so much training needed to be effective in leading teams, and not
Exactly.
just leading groups of people,
Yes.
individuals,
I
actually
think
leading a team.
I think it
Yeah,
also
jump in.
depends on the purpose of the team. You know, having been on numerous boards, that I see some of the people join boards because of the theoretical importance or their ego or something versus really working for the purpose of that team, of that advisory board, which is very different than in a company. You know, one of my companies, I had 63 people on my payroll, and I had my key group of 9, my VPs of various things, and my executive director. For me, the gift of that team was, it really is, how do you run it? How do you form it? And one of the words you used, Kathleen, was the culture. What's the culture you're developing within the company? And we'd have Wednesday morning meetings from 9 to 11 every Wednesday. And I would come in and present, this is what I'm thinking of. This is what we could be doing this week. This is where we should go. This is how we can take the company here. I now want feedback. And everybody knew that providing the feedback would sometimes take my concept to a place I never would have thought of, that was so much more enriched, right? And sometimes it wasn't a really good idea, it was a pragmatic idea, but it stimulated something else that went, right? So when the team knew that that's how it functioned, that I truly respected everybody's opinion, whether I agreed with it or not was irrelevant, I respected it. Then you've got people who end up having a shared vision. And once we all have the shared vision, it isn't just my vision for the Institute. Everybody had the shared vision for the Institute. So they weren't doing it for me. We were doing it so we as a team could take the company to the next level. And that was vastly different because we had a shared vision and a shared purpose. So different from so many of the advisory boards or the board of directors I've been on, where it's about ego. And it's about who's the most important person in the room. And it has nothing to do with the organization.
Dorothy, so much wisdom. I mean, and sisters, I'm leaning in and I'm saying, boy, I would have loved to have been part of those meetings you were holding, Dorothy.
Yeah, they were great.
I did not have so many great experiences, right? For me, like the idea of team was that team, versus our team versus I don't know, what are they, a team? I don't know, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so congratulations, Dorothy, you set the culture for this. And I think
Oh,
that's such a great opportunity for all of us to help set that culture. What are the operating principles? How do we work here? All those things. So much opportunity for us. Yes. Suzanne, you had your hand up. Jump in.
Yeah,
Richness here. Good.
yeah. Want to add to Dorothy's share around, like, when you have a team and not just a group of people, you can do so much more. You can expand, and
Oh,
you
yes.
you really can go to places where you don't think
Yes.
at the start, because
Yeah.
you have everyone's buy-in, you have everyone being related to each other in a positive way, and everyone is like energized, enrolled, and
Yeah.
yeah, so team is a multiplier for any business. And if you can create multiple teams like that within a company, and also your whole company have that team spirit together, then you can go anywhere.
Oh, Kathleen, you're muted.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Completely agree. And I'm also curious, for how many of you and why I bring this up is I think as entrepreneurs, and I'm assuming we're all entrepreneurs, right? Yeah, yeah. That that to have an experience of remembering when teams work is so critical because in the years for so long I've been working on my own and have virtual assistant and I call them team, but okay. But recently we have put together a 13th annual event for a foundation that I helped co-found. And the experience of team, again, my goodness, the multiplier effect of what can get done and what is so possible, and the relief of the founder or co-founder, our founder's dilemma of, I don't have to do all this myself. My goodness. Now, there have been times it's like, well, I don't know that I would do it that way, but you know what? I got to let go on this because the greater good is so fabulous. So that's to me, that's part of the spark of today is having us remember how important this is for human beings, right? For human beings. And yeah, and I want to share with you my thoughts and get our thoughts together on how this is strategically so important for us as coaches and consultants. Yes. Lee, jump in. You're smiling. We know you've had great experiences with teams.
Yes, so I loved what your topic sparked in my mind, Kathleen, that for me, from my personal background, I was a competitive gymnast, which individual, but yet we are a team. And so it was up to me to take the responsibility upon myself to put out my best on the bars, on the beam, on the floor, and on the vault. But I also had to work with my other team members because as a team, we were competing against other teams. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is a lot of the construct of what I do when I'm doing the team leadership. Because in corporate, the last corporation that I worked with, they didn't call it departments, they did call it teams. And so similar to Kate's share about, we, working together with the team goals, and then we were able to do so much more together in putting that out. And then just recently, last month, I was doing a workshop for a local hospital corporate team. They were a team, a variety of departments, and helping them address their shift in ownership. What did that mean for them as a leadership team? What did that mean for the rest of the culture within their corporation? And when I'm working with them in my workshop, I do start with the individual, and then how does the connectedness work? I'm like, oh my gosh, that's very similar to how I was an individual gymnast and yet part of a team. So thank you for enlightening that for me, Kathleen,
Oh,
and how that
thank
can play out for
you.
the rest of us.
Thank you. Thank you, Lee, because I wanted to help us set the context because sometimes I remember I used to think, oh, I'm not a team coach or consultant. I'm not a team advisor. And then I stopped and thought, I have a lot of experience in teams. And so it strengthened my confidence at the very beginning to say, I can do this. And I I realized that what was missing for me at the time was I didn't have frameworks, I didn't have systems, I didn't have a methodology, I didn't have the foundation underneath me, and I took the time to create that. And so, within our council, we're going to have a special kind accelerator for us, special for our members, our esteemed faculty partners, where we'll have some special sessions for us, kind of behind closed doors, on how do we accelerate our team coaching consulting business, how do we accelerate that? Literally, what are the strategies to get in? How do we then expand? And I have to tell you, one of the most glorious things that many of you have experienced too is to go in and start working with one team and transforming one team, like getting dug in with these beautiful human beings that are having a hard time dealing with the constraints and the challenges of their job, but yet they've got life stuff. Life stuff's in session. And so to be there as such a guide and to be there as such a trusted advisor for, as you were saying, Lee, for the people on the team in a way that's different than, the team leader. They can confide in us in a different way. We're trained up on how to work with them and help them transform. So, but then to be able to work with a team and then be able to be referred to we've heard the good work that you've been doing with this team. We want you to come over and work with us. I'm like, oh my gosh, so literally contracts are years long. And I have chills just thinking about how fabulous that is. It just really get to know these people in a very deep way. It's just awesome. It's awesome. So, yes. So, anyway, you can see I love this. I love this. I love this. And for us to remember, you you can do this. You can do this. Yep, you can do this. Now we have Warner Brown coming in. We love Warner Brown. And we're going to welcome Warner into our room here. So come on in. Yeah, very good. Welcome, Warner. We're talking about teams. So that's why I wanted to have us start with, in this part of having a conversation of remembering who you are in your experience in teams. And may I suggest, just after our time together, take a few minutes, process our time, what we talked about, some ideas that you have, and sketch out what were the things that worked for you when you were leading teams, when you were in teams. Go back to that experience and remember the things that worked for you and the things that didn't. And, I'm sure all of you, you have frameworks and you have systems and you have methodologies, all of those things. But I think there's an opportunity maybe to take another look at those. And I know I'm going to, this is a call to action for me to do this as well. Okay. So we talked about group coaching versus team coaching, and the data is powerful, ladies. It is powerful. And gentlemen, is that right now more than ever before, organizations, and this is the research that I've been doing, and I'm going to be producing a white paper very soon. C-Suite Network will publish it on the data on what's the research. Google has done some research internally, and they've posted the results of their surveys that teams have been the key to Google's success. And they now know that they've got to get people working better together, people optimizing all AI, particularly in groups. They've got to be sharing the knowledge throughout the organization, and that they're just declaring that team performance is their number one driver of success within teams, and then team to team, ladies, and also interdepartmental teams, and teams within supply chains, teams that are disparate, that are teams all over the world. So this gives us such a great opportunity to bring people together, and the business that you could generate from this. I mean, it's decades worth of business in every area, small, medium, and large businesses. And the research also, I didn't give you at the bottom the footnote on this, but the Wall Street Journal just did a report on organizations saying that the team performance that they are going for is going to define their success for the next 2 years, particularly with economic changes, pricing changes, supply chain demands, all kinds of just global issues. They know that they've got to get their teams working. And of course, as we were talking before, just reading off the list here, of course, hybrid teams. With COVID, more and more folks, of course, were working offsite, so hybrids, but then bringing people back into the workplace. That has had mixed success, right? So you get the great privilege to bring teams together. And of course, organizations are taking, the reality is, let's just speak truth about it. They're taking many of their DEI dollars. They're taking money that they used to invest in different areas of the organization, in training and development, in employee development. They're moving it to team development. Okay. So this gives you a great opportunity to do some research on this for yourself. I love my 100-mile business model. I have a global business like many of you, global clients, but then local clients. So I go out, and I'm in the process of doing that right now. I'm doing interviews, surveys, coffees and luncheons, going out and meeting with clients that I've had in the past, clients that I'd like to continue working with within 100 miles. I don't want to be driving. I don't want to be in a plane, train, automobile all the time. So going out and reconnecting for short periods of time with people, maybe even targeted phone conversations. hey, I want to chat with you. What's going on with your company right now? What's going on with you personally? We worked together last year. Tell me what's going on. How's that initiative we started? What's going on? You've got new people coming on board. Just listening, listening, listening. And also for me, it's so important. How are you doing personally? Tell me about what's going on. I remember your son. He was graduating from college. Did he get in and get the job he was looking for? Like that human factor is so critical. So may I issue a challenge? Dig into your local communities, find out what's going on with them. And then, of course, ask about their teams, right? What's going on? And of course, I'm sure you know that this new norm is happening. AI is replacing a lot of VIP one-on-one clients. I mean, it's just, I don't want to be doom and gloom, but it is the fact. And if you've not used C-suite coaching, highly recommend that you do. It is excellent. It's excellent. It's a great operating system for getting counsel, getting advice, putting together strategy. So we've got to be clear-eyed that AI is changing the game for us as coaches. And many types of coaching are becoming commoditized with different AI apps with coaching, Claude, ChatGPT, so many. They they act sometimes as a trusted advisor. When I hear people say, "Well, I don't have a coach anymore," now that's not me. I have three coaches, and I know each of you do too. But when people are saying, "Oh, I don't need a coach anymore. I've got ChatGPT," I get very, very worried. Not only for the coaching business, but also for them personally. We need that human connection, right? So part of teams is bringing more of you out to the world, right? Coaching also, we know for this has been going on for a while, but it's been doubling down. There are more and more and more internal coaches that are being hired. Okay. They're wanting to bring the coaching in internally. And of course, now more than ever, return on investment is key. No longer with team coaching or any kind of coaching, we're measuring, hey, how is this going to give me the change that I'm looking for? Okay. So, and I'm also noticing, and I want to get your feedback. What are you noticing too? Is there's more and more consolidation of coaching companies. Coaching companies are hiring coaches, and I think it's all good, but more and more larger companies are going in and providing solutions to organizations and then saying, hey, we have a team of coaches that can support you. So, as independent coaches, we have to provide more value. We're competing. The game has changed. I mean, it's changed in the last, 6 months, dramatically changed even since the beginning of the year. So when it comes to teams and coaching and the economy and business needs, what are you seeing? How are you seeing this team dynamic in play as it relates also to AI, et cetera? What are you noticing? Jump in.
My experience is
There.
that what's happening is that AI can replace the pragmatic coaching. AI can give you the concepts that need for application in terms of system development, the way things can go. However, AI cannot provide the ability to show when somebody is self-sabotaging, the ability to show when somebody has a story they're telling themselves that keeps defeating something that's going on. So AI can do all the pragmatic elements, but I'm also a psychologist, so I come in from, with another bias, all right? So the AI can't do that element. And I've also seen that companies want to hire the groups, the large coaching companies, and yet individuals at the C-suite level and up do not want to be involved with something for fear of what the coaches are telling the system. So they want their own private that nobody knows. I never tell, in the world of therapy, I grew up, you never tell anybody who your patients are. So as a coach, nobody will know who my clients are unless my clients post something. And then that's their choice, not mine, right? So that anonymous, say that quickly, that ability to stay anonymous and not let anybody know they have a coach is where people like us come into play, because they don't want the large systems, because that's a contract with the company. It's not a contract with the private person. So there's a huge distinction there.
Oh, thank you for bringing that. Thank you for bringing that forward. And, how could possibly AI keep track of the son who was trying to get into Tufts and then got in, and the impact on the families. My client, like her emotional journey of going through of having her child go to college. Like I think personally, it's the humanity, it's
Right.
our who we are, and if anything else, I think this is a call to action for all of us to bring more of us into our client relationships, which AI cannot duplicate. It could give us a tactical and strategic plan. And Dorothy, as you said, hey, what are the blind spots? Hey, why didn't you follow through? Hey, what's going on underneath this? All this, I think it's much more transactional. We as humans, we're not transactional. Yeah. So great opportunity. Thank you. Yeah. Kate, jump in, please. Uh-huh.
I completely agree with everything you said, Dorothy. And I coach mostly job seekers and women in transition. So it's been interesting because a lot of those things have been outsourced to AI as well. Job search strategy, resume, even LinkedIn positioning, personal branding, cover letters. And I've been struggling with that this year. A lot of the women I talk to still do see the value in having a relationship with a coach, especially when it comes to that mindset stuff and battling imposter syndrome and all of that. But even today, this session has me thinking through how can I take that into corporate? And someday I would love to be the go-to coaching company that when companies do have layoffs, that they're out servicing my coaching services to their employees to help position them for their next opportunity. And I don't know how to do that at this point. I know that like Robert Half is a company that does that really well, but I want to be in that arena. I want to play with the big dogs. And I think that's a way that I can take what I'm doing now and scale it to work with corporate in a larger capacity. So this is just getting my wheels turning, as always, Kathleen.
You. Well, that's our goal, Kate. We want to get those wheels turning. We want to put a little grease on the gears and get in action about things. So thank you. Yes. So let me jump in. I've got just two slides I'd like to share about what do we do next, okay? Because we present ideas, we get talking about it, we get thinking about this. Our council is all about being the catalyst for being the coach consultant that you want to be, that ideal person that you love to do the work that you're doing, and you get to transform your clients with them in their lives, and not only their business but their lives, but then you also get to transform too. So that transformation process is something so key that we're all speaking to, right? People want to have the before, the during, and the after, and you are the right people to do that. So good. So here's where we go next. Some ideas on where we could take the ideas. And we've been talking about what's emerging for you quickly. You can do this. You've already been in teams. You know how this goes. This is not something different for you. Perhaps maybe what is needed is just some work on the frameworks, maybe some work on the systems, and maybe it's even a conversation with a potential client about, hey, let's do a 90-day pilot. And feel free always schedule a time with me on Calendly, and I'd love to have a conversation with you about this. Let's brainstorm. We'll talk about next steps. Okay. And thinking about that, blending into what's changing with the coaching profession, we've got to make changes. If we keep doing the same thing we've been doing, if you've only been a VIP one-on-one coach, great, keep doing that, but add in different things so you have a portfolio business. All right. As Jeffrey Hazlett likes to say, don't be a one-trick pony, ladies. So with that, imagine, as we're saying, that you are the catalyst for teams, high performing teams that are energized. Imagine the experience of due to Lee and due to Suzanne and due to Carol and due to Kate and due to Dorothy and due to Kathleen and everyone else. I love to come to work on Monday morning. Wouldn't that be a glorious thing that you could hear people say, right? Or we had this conflict and, we used the tools that you gave us and we were able to work through it. You're going to get those kinds of responses. And we love this because this gives you new options. You're not necessarily selling sessions. You're selling selling, I say, working on the transformation. And you get this great privilege. So may I suggest here's a six-figure team program. And team programs are frequently six figures on up. I mean, that's just generally how it is. Particularly, and most of my engagements are a minimum of 6 months, generally a 1 year contract. And you know, easy peasy. You go in and do an assessment. You activate the things that they say that they want to get activated, and then you amplify the results. So it's really a plan, do, review process. And be sure when you're thinking about this, going in and doing a needs assessment, having a conversation. What's happening in your organization right now? Why is it happening? What's the impact? What's the implication if you do not get this handled? We're using consulting kinds of concepts here, of course. And then design a program. This is what I've done. I have programs that I deliver, but everyone is just a little bit custom. It's customized to what they're dealing with in their industry, what they're dealing with their time frames, et cetera. So designing a program that you have, a system you have, and modify it with the important return on investment. How will you deliver success and how will you measure success, of course, and then package the value of it. And it's the transformation. It's just not the content. And what I love is I love a hybrid approach, going in and doing education, training, coaching, and then have people go out and apply it, come back in, and let's do some mentor coaching. Let's also incorporate some VIP one-on-one coaching. Ladies, it is a glorious model. It is so beautiful. You will love it. And to again we focus in our council a lot about the category of one, how to be the category of one and be a team transformer is obviously we've got to solve expensive problems. We've got to package a transformation and we've got to link it to the business results. So there we go. May I suggest simmer a little bit on this? Think about the people that you know. Think about, hey, I'd like to try on that 100-mile global strategy. I'd like to go out and start having conversations. Do you have teams? How are your teams working? What's working for your teams? What could you improve? What doesn't work? Start having those really rich conversations and take the next step. Do a pilot. If you don't have a program yet or a system, you can just start, right? Start with a team. And size of teams, I think that's all over the map, but I kind of like the number 6 to 12 people. 6 to 12 people in a team, and if you have more than that, you can create multiple teams. So with that, as usual, ladies, we get after it. We just get after it. And I'm curious as we complete, feel free, jump in. You'll find it on LinkedIn. We'd love to have you join Kate's program next week. We call them the interactive gatherings, right? We want to have interactivity. So we're going to welcome Kate next week on our program. And of course, we want to see you in Chicago. Absolutely. Come be part of our one-day success summit. Schedule some time with me. I'm easy to find, ladies, for you. Kathleen Caldwell on Calendly. I've opened up more time in the month of May, and let's connect. So as we finish, for now, what's your biggest takeaway from our time together? Biggest takeaway, biggest aha, biggest like, oh, okay, I'm going to do something about that. I like that. What's next for you? Feel free, jump in.
Kathleen, for me, two things. One, like how you asked us, what's your experience with teams, and where it took me back, like, oh, as a gymnast, it seems more individual, but yeah, it was a team play, but that integrates into the work that I do. So thank you again for that enlightenment. And the second takeaway, I did like your 100-mile business model too. I was like, oh, yeah, I want to dial that in. So that's going to be great. Thank you.
We just cannot wait to hear about all the athletic, gymnastic inspired team things that you're going to create. My gosh, people with more flexibility, more opportunities. Oh my gosh, the metaphors abound, right? Whoa. Okay, good. Congratulations. Good. Thank you. Who else? Biggest takeaway from our time together? Jump in. It was fun today, wasn't it?
It really
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
fun. Yeah, always. We always have fun. I get inspired about our profession. After every call, before I call, it's like, okay, we can do this. We are doing this.
I enjoyed just hearing other people and their experience with teams. Um, it's been a long time since I worked with a team. I used to support launch teams for new products. And the closest that I can come to being in a team right now is singing in a church choir and being on a nonprofit board. So
Excellent.
both of those are Team E, but I'm not in charge of anything there. So
Well, I want to have a private conversation with you and talk. And Carol is part of our Women's Success Accelerator year-long program. I've been thinking about how we could apply what you're doing. You've got such great research that you're creating, and your executive women accelerators. I think there's a play there. We could bring that whole methodology into teams. So let's talk. I know we've got a call scheduled, so that'll be fun. Good. Okay. Great. Thank you. Great. Who else as we complete? What's emerging? What's your biggest takeaway? I like to put bookends on things, ladies. I got a lot of books like you do on my bookshelf.
My biggest takeaway was on one of the final slides that you pulled up that said solve expensive problems for decision makers. Because I think ultimately that's what team coaching is about, is solving these expensive problems and providing a lot of value. You also mentioned designing programs with measurable ROI, which obviously is so important. That's what decision makers want to see. And I would be curious, you don't have to answer this right now, but I would be curious some examples of the ROI that you've shown in corporate team coaching before. Sometimes, of course, it's revenue, it's money, but I'm curious what some of the other measurable ROI that you've used before.
Yes. Guess what, Kate? The team gets to decide what that is. We use the team. How are we going to measure success?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you now? Where do you want to be? Let's measure. So
Mm,
that's what I love about team coaching is it's not it doesn't have to be a heavy lift for us, right? Yeah, we just get to translate what do they want and when do they want it, and and how do we get there, and the before,
yeah.
during, and after. So yeah, how about that? I'm all about making life easy, right? In our business, easier. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Good.
I also see that sometimes they think this is the problem when in fact that's the problem. So the
Dorothy,
ability
yes.
to hear what they have to say and realize they may be very much off target because none of them want to see what's right in front of them. So the ROI ends up being almost theoretically accidental because you were working with what they hadn't even recognized.
Such wisdom, Dorothy. Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, so true. So true. And isn't that fun, right? We get to experience more fun and joy. And it's not easy because there are people and dynamics. Oh boy, I we got stories. We got stories. We wouldn't name names, of course, but we got stories. Yeah, we got stories. Yes, yes, good. Susan, take us home, dear. Biggest takeaway, insight from today.
Yes, in the one of the last slides when you presented the six-figure program blueprint, it's as easy as that.
It is.
It doesn't need to be complex and like
Really.
really detailed. Yeah, this is it.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. Just starting. That's just starting. And I can certainly see uh, smarter teams with AI and your books. There's books in us, there's content, there's methodologies, right? For all of us. Carol, there's LinkedIn for the savvy teams. There's all kinds of good stuff for us. Yeah, good. Okay, good. Well, sisters, joyous. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up and being so involved and so engaged. My heart is happy. My heart is very grateful to each of you. So we'll be back next week, next Thursday. We get to celebrate Kate. Yay. And
Congratulations, Kate. Congratulations to you.
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you. Good. Well, we'll see you next Thursday and schedule a time with me. Let's have a conversation. I want to know what you're up to and how our council can be the catalyst for more for you. So bye for now. Big hugs and kisses. Take yourself off mute if you'd like to. Say a little goodbye. Bye. We'll see you next
Thanks.
Thursday.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Thank you.
ladies. Make it a
Bye-bye.
great
Lots of
day.
love to
Thank you,
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Kathleen. Thank you,
Thank you.
Kathleen.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.